Go ahead, hit it, Mike. Because sometimes I'll be watching the show and it's like it take forever, man. The fucking thing.
Yeah, we just did. You got your headphones on?
I got my headphones on. Hey, what's up, Vince? Mike.
What's going on, guys?
How you guys doing this? Is it evening?
It's Thursday night. Evening, same
Thursday
thing.
night, evening.
Sun's gone. It's officially night.
It's night. It's in the evening. Yeah, night. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, man, how you guys doing tonight? If you guys are live with us right now, join in and comment. Let us know what's up. How you guys doing? What state you guys are from? Or if you guys are here from the state of Florida too, hit us up. We actually got fireworks going on for us this afternoon, which is pretty fucking cool. But yeah, if you guys are got nothing else to do, you guys want to hang out with us for a little bit, hey, we're more than welcome to hop on. Facebook, Instagram.
We're going live, so the slow start is hopefully we get a couple people to jump on to interact with, but for the most part, I like doing live because it puts it out there right away. I don't have to go upload it.
Yeah, so you guys can see that as we speak, everything that we say, and we don't have anything written down. We don't have nothing. It's just what's coming out is coming out, and it's the truth, and we get to the point. Whatever topic we're talking about at the moment, we got quite a few topics we're going to talk about this afternoon. First off, Vince, going on vacay, man. You going anywhere?
Not going out of town or anything. Go riding at River Ranch probably a couple times.
That's good. But hey, again, we got lucky with that hurricane.
Yeah.
It's crazy, all those people on that West Coast, all that water, all that. What is it called? Surge? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
The surge of the water and stuff like that. It's crazy,
I heard it wasn't very bad, but there was a lot of...
There's one...
The surge was still bad. It just wasn't as bad as they thought it was going to be, and there's a lot of downed trees.
I don't remember the name of it, but there was like one town in particular that took a pretty good beating from it, but I don't remember the name of it.
The thing is, it's old Florida. It hasn't been naturally battered.
Right.
Most parts of Florida that have been hit by hurricanes. So there was a lot of old trees, like old banyan trees and stuff like that, that have been around for a long time that, are now not. I think the governor's mansion actually had a tree fall on it while his wife and kids were there.
Oh, wow.
And they were safe, but it was like an ancient tree that's been there for...
Right.
Yeah, all that area, where they sit, I usually... When I used to travel to Tallahassee back and forth, I would go through that somewhat of that area where that hurricane hit, and it is like Mike says, it's very historical. It has a lot of big oak trees that have is that stuff that hangs off it. What is it called?
Moss
or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, it is nice. Like the trees and stuff like that. How they in the roads and little old towns and stuff like that. It's very beautiful.
Vince, what do you want
to look like right now?
Facebook.
I'm just on my account.
Somebody go to YouTube.
I can.
Because I got a feeling YouTube's being stupid. Sorry.
That's all right.
Real time. Just turn this
Okay, what do you want to do? YouTube?
We're there?
That's
okay,
YouTube.
so I don't understand why it shows us at 9 minutes and it doesn't look like we transitioned.
I don't know.
So anyways, we're live. We're live on Facebook and I'm recording it and it'll be re-uploaded to YouTube, so it's underneath our regular video playlist also. So it's August 31st. There's Christmas stuff in the stores already.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, isn't it?
And it's been there for a week.
Oh, it has. Yeah,
just kind of tried to ignore it, but it's there. And,
it's there. It's full blast, right in your face. Halloween's out of the way, man.
So, a couple things I want to talk about was the fire in Maui. Where
what's up with that?
I don't know facts on it at all, so I'm completely ignorant. But from what I do understand is there is quite amount of kids that are missing.
Oh yeah,
and
I did hear that.
Nobody. I guess the one guy that started asking the mayor about the kids was escorted out of the city by the police. And
right.
I don't know. A lot of people died, and there was there was a warning system that the mayor or the emergency fire chief or whatever the hell he was decided not to activate, which was for I guess earthquakes or tornadoes or lava flows, but they could have warned a lot of people. So a lot of people ended up having to run for the ocean. I heard that one of the only ways out, the police had blocked the road and made people turn around or stay there because there was a down power line. And people died right there. Fire engulfed them all. You know, obviously the police took off, but over a down power line, you know. People died out in the ocean because of smoke inhalation. You know, they just pass out and then they're in the ocean, you know.
Right, so then they drown.
Yeah, on top of that, you know, the fire is probably still pretty hot. You probably still probably have to go quite a ways out there. But I couldn't imagine. That's a horrible way to go, is suffocating. But there's a lot of kids missing, they say, and there's not a lot of outrage from their parents or whatnot. Like, where's their parents? Do they match up with missing parents? Are their parents looking for them? Are the, you know, where's the outrage that you would expect would go with this number of missing people?
Almost as if the parents were the ones that died and somehow their kids miraculously lived.
Who knows?
And went missing.
Who knows? But there's a lot of conspiracy. One was the blue roofs. How all the rich people.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know what's up with my microphone.
I did see that, or was reading something about like Oprah Winfrey was one of them. That like
a lot of them that
like very rich and famous have like
blue roofs.
Blue roofs.
And
like,
there was a lot of stuff.
I'm not a conspiracy person, but come on, man.
There was a lot of stuff.
What do you know that I don't know?
That was blue.
Come on.
That didn't burn.
Right. And like went around
people, it's cute. Remember we did the episode about the lasers, the green lasers in the sky over Hawaii?
Yes.
So people are like quick to jump to like, hey man, this is like directed energy, laser warfare, programmable warfare.
Why did all the rich people have blue roofs?
What's up, Nick?
What's the coincidence with that?
He's on there.
I thought he was walking up.
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's going on, dude?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah, I agree. It's just crazy, man. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's just...
well, they say Oprah's buying more land. She already has like 800 acres or something like that.
I was going to say, does she have like a farm or something?
Yeah,
some kind of farm or something.
All of it's spared. You know, it was all spared from the fires and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy, you know, like, why? Like, why? Like, literally, why?
Yeah, a lot of people died that didn't have to die. Well, keep in mind,
these people are influencers that, I'm here to help these people, I'm here to help that, and help them out, get them a blue roof just like yours.
Here's the thing: if they live
I've seen a meme about how much of a conspiracy theorist are you, and it's a picture of a guy painting his roof blue.
If they live, the land is still theirs.
Well, that's if they can keep their land. They might not be allowed.
But it's easier to do it if they didn't live.
They might not be allowed to keep their land.
They're just going to take all the land.
And I saw something, actually, I just saved the photo. Agenda 2030, land development laws will allow governments to seize polluted land and move the residents into smart cities.
Right.
Can you see why lately there are continuous environmental disasters? So polluted land, natural disaster, the mayor is like stopped all outside real estate deals going on. So that means it's actually just who's allowed to do real estate deals.
Right.
It's very corrupt. It's a left-leaning state, just like California. And you see all these wildfires in these states where there's no forest management. They're super liberal on environmental. They work for the environmental activists. What it is.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. I don't know.
The whole thing's very fishy.
Nick said one of the first things they did was set up fences along the road to block the view.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the story I heard about them blocking the road because of a down power line and people literally dying in their car because of it was pretty sad. You know, like, and when you can... I've heard other people, I'm not ready to try it, but you can actually drive over a power line as long as you're not hauling ass. It won't kick it up and hit your frame, but not that you want to. But in this case, they could have actually gone around, but they weren't allowed to. Police had the rest of it blocked off.
Weren't they like trying to get people out too, so that they could take over the land or something like that?
I don't know,
See,
but that's what they think this is about.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Get these people out of there. But Hawaiian people are very private. I'm not surprised they're not speaking out. Plus, they don't trust the Americans. They hate the Americans.
Oh yeah, and you know what it is they're probably just trying to take their land so that us Americans use it as like tourism and people.
From what I understand, this area, this little city, Lahaia or something, was like the last capital seat of the last king of Hawaii, of the Hawaiian Islands. It's like some historic, like stuff, buildings are like gone now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
I don't know. Yeah, but
I've
anyways,
never been to Hawaii. Have you ever been to Hawaii?
I've never been to Hawaii.
Me either.
No, I don't even want to go, man.
I don't think I need to, anyways. I live in Florida.
We live,
so-
yeah.
And if I do, everything that I wear is gonna be blue.
yeah.
Yeah. Living in Florida,
I
I don't think
invited-
I would pay to go to Hawaii. Now, if I want a free trip,
Hey,
that's different. But
That's one good way to get out of hell. Whenever I die, make sure you guys fucking bury me in a blue casket, blue
So
outfit,
you don't burn up.
so you don't burn.
so I don't burn.
Yeah. I just think it's. I hate to laugh on the.
I know, but it's just like, come
Yeah.
on, man. These people know something. Clearly, they knew
Yeah.
something, or they know something. Out of everything, why would they pick a blue roof? Or who told them, hey, you need
Yeah,
to
I don't know about the blue roof thing, but you know,
Come on, Mike.
I don't
All
know
these-
about the lasers thing either. But I just know it's a very liberal
Yeah,
state.
like, what's up with the
They
lasers?
don't do forest management, and
like
I'm
their
not
own-
surprised if it's a land grab, anyways.
And you know, like Nick said, you know, they're private, man. They stay to themselves. They don't, you know, they don't want to.
I forgot
Fuck with everybody
Nick
else.
lived there for 2 years. I forgot about that. Remember him telling me about that.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
man. I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'll switch gears here, and I know I've kind of been blowing up my social media about it. Was the school board meeting that I didn't get to attend, but I briefly ran through almost 6 hours of it, and I shared a bunch of clips that I thought were
6
pretty
hours
important.
of making your.
There was 6. I didn't, and not all of it was citizen input, but the citizen input is what I was interested in, and what was at the end. But it took me till today to get to the end because I ain't got 6 hours to sit there.
Yeah,
and
sit
listen
there
to
6 hours.
Freaking school board. Like I gotta
things to
wake
do.
up sooner or later. And
Yeah.
it was pretty revolting. Like some of these. Vince, you heard me on my phone. You heard my phone a couple times, and some people you wouldn't expect to say some things were saying some things, and
Right.
and it took me. I'm ignorant. Like haven't really kept up on it, and we haven't been able to go to any school board meetings recently because of work and real life and all that good stuff. But anyways, I was wondering what was the big push
To read from the books?
to have so many people reading books. I mean, I know why I would do it, but I knew there was a strategy behind it, and I guess there's this House Bill 1069 or something that states any citizen can read an excerpt from a book in a public setting, and if they have to be shut down by the chair of the school board, then the book gets removed automatically.
Right.
If they can't read it during a public meeting and the school board shuts them down because it's that bad,
Right.
it can get pulled. But it also allows for like 3 other ways that this book can get removed. It can go through the superintendent, the district, which is the superintendent or the principal, and anybody on the board could have made the call. Like they could have voted on this at any time,
Yeah.
which they did. A year ago, they voted to put most of these books back, almost all of them.
So
I
let me
believe
read-
it was 4-1. Jackie Rosario was the only vote not to put these books back in the libraries.
So let me raise my hand like I'm in school, right? I'm just gonna ask a question.
Ask it.
So how long have they known about these books?
Well, they've
been
known
on there.
for a
Yeah.
long time.
Some of these books.
We're
So,
already
how long?
pulled
so
and
the
put
But like,
back
I know,
purpose.
but like how long?
So this
Since
is what
when-
I've learned.
since
So
when-
listen.
Since
How-
when has the school board known about these books?
Well, let me tell you what I've learned. From what I've watched, these people, when they got up to read from this book, they would say the title of the book and who wrote it, and when it was originally challenged for its content. Some of the dates I heard went back to 2020. Some of these books from what I've learned. And they were approved to go back. That's the problem. They went through the board once, and they went through a committee. But the committee, from what I understand, is made up of 5 people, 1 person from the board. Each person on the board picks 1 person to sit on the committee. So I'm not sure how that would have turned out. I don't know. I can just imagine the way this county's makeup is.
I can't understand how they got voted to go back.
Right. So the board voted 4-1. Jackie's the only one that voted no to put him back, so she lost that one. And then they went through committee. So these books have been challenged already. So the deal is, if the school board chair shuts you down, the book automatically comes off the shelf. Doesn't have to do anything that, and the chair, she kept stopping people about, hold on, do we need to put a content warning out there? Do we have to put, she kept do we have to put, like, if you worried about it, then the book shouldn't be there.
At one point,
and that's part of that law.
At one point in one of the videos you shared, the one girl's talking, and she tells her, she goes, "Ma'am, as an adult, we should not be reading that." And it's like, everybody's just like, then why are our kids allowed to read it?
Yeah, like, I would be, let's say if I replayed most of that on our YouTube channel,
I would expect it to be taken down.
We would probably be taken down, but because this was a school board meeting and there's law pertaining to this process,
right.
I believe, is how it's still there. I don't know. Maybe we wouldn't be taken down, but because it's not labeled for kids, but it was very graphic, and it was it wasn't. I felt uncomfortable listening to it, and I definitely couldn't. I was making clips, and I had to make sure I couldn't do it around other people.
So my thing is, okay, so the school board, let's say officials, that people voted you in because you were their voice, So say 10 people voted you in because you were going to represent those 10 people, and those people get together, and then they come up with an idea, and they give it to you, and you present it, and then that's how it goes, right? That's how it should work, right?
Well,
pretty much those people that are up front, we voted them in there because we wanted them to do a job, right? Right. Because they said, "Hey, listen, you vote me in, and I'm going to do whatever you tell me to do, or whatever you tell me, I'm going to bring that information and bring it to the board." Right?
They're supposed to be working for
kind of something like that.
They're supposed to be working for you, but unfortunately,
so I'm not sure
it doesn't
exactly
work out
how
that
the
way.
charter goes, but you elect a school board, they hire a superintendent to run the administration.
Right. Yeah.
And certain action items have to be approved through the board.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, say I'm going to run for school board, be up there, and I'm like, "Hey, Vince, vote for me. Mike, vote for me. Hey, everybody, vote for me. Tell me, you guys, what you guys want me to do up there. Tell me, you guys, what you guys want change and stuff like that. I'm going to be there to represent you guys, but I need you guys to vote for me again first, right? So then you guys vote me in. Now I'm up there, right? And now you guys find these books, right? Or whoever finds these books, and they say, "Hey, Leo, we found these books up there," and I'm just like, "Okay, put them back." And you guys are like, "Wait a minute, but you're supposed to be on our side. You're supposed to be telling the other people, hey, this is what they found. Let's get together and take them out, right? Or let's look at the books."
Well,
I'm sure they read the books, right?
They may not have
the committee was charged with reading these books, and I know Jennifer Pippin from Moms for Liberty takes a lot of heat, but she was.
I'm just trying to explain it so people and listeners can understand how these people work and what their job is.
These books have been reviewed, more than once, I would probably say, and there's advocates to keep them in the school libraries. I don't understand why. Right. They don't provide any academic value. There's nothing of support in it. And okay, the attorney wanted to talk about, if it's taken out of context, so I'm not sure if it's obscene or not. Well, yes, what do you mean you're not sure?
They're describing...
You had to stop a citizen from reading it out loud.
There's parts where they describe in detail of... There was one that I remember we read one time in your truck. They were it was in detail description of a girl being raped in the book.
Oh, there was many instances, and boys, and it was exposing kids. It was making available and exposing kids to stuff that you might not be ready for them to be exposed to. And at the end of the day, it's your call. And you should trust the school library. Some of those books have been in the library since the 80s. A Handmaid's
yeah.
Tale, I think, is pretty graphic.
Right.
It's been in the book since 1985. And even one of the books, Barenborg said, I don't even remember approving that one to go back. So she's like, that was pretty bad. Yeah, it was pretty freaking bad. So all the books that those people got up and read that night, they ended up voting 5-0, take them all out. I don't know if you can count Barefoot as a vote. Barefoot's our representative for one of the districts in the rich section of our county. He has no kids. He's got no grandkids in the school district or even in the state. So he's just like, I don't know. He's an accountant for the rich guys, I guess. But he was zoomed in from his Vermont summer home, I guess, because it's too hot for him.
Ooh, must be nice, huh? He's probably sleeping in his PJs.
Well, they said he was playing on his phone for about 20, 30 minutes. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Do
these people get paid?
The school board, yeah.
Yeah, they get paid.
Yeah.
You tell me that he was getting paid to be on his phone?
Oh, yeah.
So, talking about phones,
right? I cannot believe
so
it's
I was on the
still
phone the other day,
okay
right?
for him to just Zoom
Right.
call in.
Right. So I was at the Cleveland Clinic the other day, right? On Tuesday, right? And I'm at the emergency room, right? And I see a sheriff there, right? And he's in front of two computers, right? And the computers, I look at the screens at the
Oh
computers,
yeah, you
right?
showed me that.
I look at the screens at the computers, right? And there's like monitors for like cameras and stuff like that, right? Well, this deputy, you know, instead of doing his job, what he's supposed to be doing, right? He's on his phone looking at his bank account, making sure his check went through. But come on, bro. This is why people come at you guys in the emergency room with a pair of knives or scissors, and you guys gotta shoot these people, and then you guys claim that these people are crazy. Yeah, I would go crazy too if you're supposed to be there protecting the community, protecting who you're supposed to be protecting, doing your job, looking at the cameras, not looking at your bank statement, see if Indian County paid you or not. Sometimes they don't pay, so it's probably just checking. But anyways, I saw that there, and I was just like, come on, man, like.
That's so normal nowadays, though. Like,
I know,
everybody's
man.
on their phones at work.
I know, but I knew he wasn't.
But he's in a school board meeting.
Yeah,
my
that's-
headphones are on, so I can't-
You're on a live feed and at
Yeah,
a school
man.
board
You
meeting.
have to
that's-
show up for the public. I mean, at the minimum, once a month. And this was a long meeting. And I'm not done, but I think where I left off during that meeting, the superintendent was just saying we're going to have many more meetings just like this.
Good.
Yeah, if that's what it takes, but why does it take that?
Yeah.
You know, as soon as there's a challenge to a sexually graphic book and they can provide any content out of
Like-
it that represents it,
Like I was
it should
telling-
be removed.
Like I was telling you guys off before we were live. Like I'm not a person that come up there and like speak on the microphone and like.
Yeah,
'Cause I
this
started-
is kind of crazy.
In
Yeah,
front
no,
of
this
a
is
group.
kind of crazy that we're doing.
Well,
here.
especially in
Like,
front of like a crowd.
a crowd, right? Exactly. You know, my voice starts cracking and this and that. You know, I tell
it-
Mike, I was like, I get so mad, I start tearing up. I fix it up, punch somebody right in the throat or something, and it's like I just want to go up there and be like, hey, I'm Leo, and just walk off.
Yeah.
And I'm just here to introduce myself and tell you guys that you guys suck, man. Like, you guys, like,
Oh,
come on, man. Like,
there was one guy.
oh yeah.
There was a guy. I'll have to find it. But there was a guy that walked up, and it was his turn at the podium,
Yeah.
and he said something along the lines of, "Let those who are the purveyors and providers of this smut rot in hell." And he was like all
Damn.
full blown like, "Rot in hell," and he just turned around and walked away. Peggy Jones was like, "Thank you." But I think it was kind of funny, like you said, they're on their phone, they're this or they're that, but they're not even sure of the law. And she, as the chair, is privy to the board attorney. Like, she gets counsel, can get regular counsel from the board attorney, which is a new person this year. And anyways,
Oh, is it?
yes. And she kept having to refer back to the superintendent as far as what is the deal here. Like, does this book get removed once I shut them down, or does it go to review? And they read the law as it gets removed. They voted anyways to take all of them out.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like
All that were brought up last night. That was only 30 though. There's
Right.
probably another 60. in
Okay,
there.
but that's what I'm saying. Like they know
70.
about these books. You know, these superintendents, people or whatever, have looked at these books, have read these books. So why does it have to come to this matter of all this? We're wasting money. We're wasting time. Just do it at the time you see it. Hey,
Well, I'll tell you what.
if it comes to your
I'll tell
attention,
you why, Leo.
look into
You've
it
got
and get
groups
involved.
like NAACP and other social groups.
Who's that? Who's the
They're
NAACP?
just that one's like for inner city kids, and you got other groups like that are more social settings, and they want groups that are for advocating kids being emancipated at 16 and stuff like that. These are still kids and stuff. So it's just different groups like that. We know of a few. We know of a few jokers around town. And I watched a few people who actually spoke in favor of keeping these books in the library. And I tell you, I lost everything. Any kind of respect I could have had for them as a stranger as soon as they started running their mouth about how, we shouldn't be up here banning books, or what a cool tactic that was, but I won't be deterred. There was another big issue from that meeting, and it was the critical race theory and how our school district teaches about slavery. And I guess there's a big deal. There's a big thing about how the curriculum that's been adopted by the state or the county originally teaches how slaves benefited from slavery.
Right.
How they've learned traits and masters and trades and stuff like that from being slavery. And the argument is bullshit. Whatever. Even if they did learn something, it doesn't mean slavery did it for them. It was no matter what, slavery's bad. So I haven't read any instances where our books teach something different, but I've always been taught slavery was real freaking ugly in this country, and nobody ever sugarcoated that for me going through school.
Right.
Yeah. Same here.
I remember
I
reading
learned about it, but it wasn't full blown about it. Learn this and learn that and this and this and that. It was just little brief bit.
I remember hearing about how some people, some of them when they went into slavery, they may have had better situations than others, and it may have been a better situation than they had before they went to that situation for whoever bought them. But in most instances, it was not.
Well, the reality
you're being
of it,
forced to do something you don't want to do.
as far as the slavery goes, the reality of it, if they were transported here from another continent, maybe coming here was better for where else they could have gone.
Right.
But I don't think it was any benefit to them at all.
No.
They could have been a whole lot better being free. Even if they were living and dying in a mud pit in Africa or not. No matter what their prior life was, if it was better than it was on the plantation, they would have been better off being free. That's just the cold hard fact about slavery.
And to say they learned, a trade.
Black people weren't the only slaves either, though.
They would have been doing something else if they weren't there. They would have learned trades. They would have learned other stuff anyways.
Excuse me. Sean says, you can't even read it.
You right?
Yeah. Well, the law is you can't sell a minor Playboy swag magazine, so how can you expose a minor to the sexual explicit material? Did anybody, if you would, did you, Sean or Nick, if you're still there, anybody else, did you watch any of the clips I posted or any of the school board meeting? I know you both have kids in this area and in the school district, at least you did. Yeah, there's a lot about slavery out there.
Yeah.
And there are some people who came out on top. I won't doubt that. But overall, I think the ideal is, as a social issue, slavery is bad. Nobody ever benefited from slavery. Not even Asian slaves, which probably outnumbered African slaves 2 to 1 or 3 to 1. working on the West Coast before it was annexed to America. All the mines and the gold mines, silver mines, copper mines, the railroad, a lot of that was operated by Asian slaves. Not necessarily, they're not ours, but it was happening here, where we operate.
Right.
And the Irish early on, but I don't know. As far as what was the other thing?
You're talking about the slavery.
No, you said something, and I went off about the slavery thing.
I don't even remember.
It was just bad.
That's funny. But no, man. Anyways, I want to also give a big shout out. I forgot to mention them earlier. A big shout out to all our sponsors out there. Don't forget about us.
IRC washing.
Yeah, don't forget about us.
they
We're
bought
out
the
there.
pizza.
Thank you guys. But you can find us in a lot of platforms. We're on Facebook Live right now. But tomorrow or the next day or the following day or the following day after that, they'll be uploaded. To a few other platforms and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do live now, so it gets out there, and then I re-upload it to all the podcasts.
So you guys can see there is no cutting. We don't cut anything. It's just whatever comes out, comes out.
We did in the beginning.
Mainly because we're just lazy.
Yeah,
No, because it's just the truth. Yeah,
it's a
no,
pain
it's
in the
just.
ass.
Hey, I never even tried.
No, I'm sure
I
it
don't
is
edit.
independent.
I don't edit 'cause
No,
it's a
there is
pain
no
in the
editing.
ass.
Yeah, there is no editing.
Maybe I clip off the top and the bottom if I have to, but
Maybe, but sometimes. But no, there's definitely no editing in it.
yeah. So, but I'm not done talking about the school board meeting. There was somebody who was pretty, I guess, TikTok famous, some pastor, reverend out of North Carolina who makes his rounds doing school board meetings.
Right.
And it was pretty awkward. I don't know, should I play it? We got time. I can see.
Nah,
if
it was
it's
pretty
out.
awkward. We're gonna get banned from Facebook.
No.
You're not talking about the.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't play the
You shouldn't
pastor.
play it.
Yeah.
No. It's
You're
pretty
right.
graphic.
But it was crap, what was his name?
Pastor.
Hold on, it's here somewhere. Reverend
Randolph.
John K. Amachukawu. Removed from the meeting.
Amachuku.
Yamachukawu. And the deal is this guy goes around to these school boards and he's like, I do want to play a little bit of what he's got to say. So hold on, let me get switched over.
Oh, you switching it over so that they can hear a little bit of it?
Fuck it, Mike. This was a county meeting. This is a government meeting.
Well, it is, and I can probably play it. I just want to make sure I got it in the frame of the screen for people at home. This guy's been on Newsmax. He does a lot of other things. Let me make sure I got the volume up. Put this up here like that.
Out of the 52, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, sir.
Is there any explanation why my name was left out?
There were 52, and I must have picked it up with one or the other. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Thank
I'm
you.
deeply offended by that my name was left out. But
Yeah, what was that
my
all
time
about?
yet? Because my name was left out.
Pause.
All right, I got to go back 3 minutes. Three minutes for me because my name.
So they have a stack of papers.
Right.
Of every person that speaks has to be there by a certain time. It's got to be like 15, 20 minutes before the meeting
Right.
starts.
Right.
And you got to fill out your speaker card, which is your name and I think a little summary of what you're going to speak about. I'm not sure. I've never filled one out. I've been asked to, but like you, I don't have the balls.
Yeah, I don't have
I
balls
know.
to go up there.
But this guy goes around town and not town, but around the country, and he's like pretty much lecturing these school boards. So, anyways, there was 52 or 53 of these speaker cards,
Right.
and conveniently, she had misplaced his card. There was a paper in between, so she didn't see his.
Just happened to be the guy that's on social
Now,
media.
in Peggy Jones's defense, who I do not like her, she's running for re-election. Vote for anybody but her pretty much. But I'm pretty sure she wouldn't do that on purpose to somebody with a platform like he has, if she knew who he was. I have a feeling watching the video that the school district attorney or the school board attorney, whatever, the attorney for the school board, I have a feeling he recognized him as soon as he got to the podium, and he told the superintendent, because I can see him leaning over doing this, like, this guy is he's an activist, he's a protester. But listen to what he's got to say. I'm going to start him over.
Again?
Again, what?
No, you gotta start him over.
Hold on. I want to make sure we're there. Okay.
It's a beautiful night though, huh, Vince? After that little storm
That
and
rain
the
cooled it off a little
cooled it
bit.
off a little bit. What are you doing, man?
Want to hear it?
No, sir. Just slipped in out of the 52. I'm sorry.
Was there a reason why I was left out?
I'm sorry. No, sir.
Is there any explanation why my name was left out?
So they gave him extra 3
there were
minutes?
52, and I must have
Speak
picked
for
it up
doing
with one or the other. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Thank
I'm
you.
deeply offended by that my name was left out. But not my time yet, because my name was left out. All right, I got to go back 3 minutes. Three minutes from me because my name was left out.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. 3
I just
minutes.
want to make sure that we understand that.
Yes, sir.
While everyone is talking about racism, let me say this on the topic of slavery: blacks didn't benefit from slavery, just like we don't benefit from abortion. Planned Parenthood kills more black lives in 2 weeks than the KKK lynched in a century. Margaret Sanger said that she did not want the word to get out that she wanted to exterminate the Negro population. There is no slavery like lynching a baby in the womb. The same people who talk about the racist education standards, they turn a blind and deaf ear to the fact that blacks are being slaughtered in this country by and large by the Democrat Party and white liberals who seek to further the plan of Margaret Sanger. Now on the topic of these pornographic books that you keep calling these point of contacts on as relates to whether they should be read or not. 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher, currently in Storm Grove Middle School and Freshman Learning Center, page 265. As if letting him finger me was going to cure all
Okay, I'll stop
my
you.
problems.
Sir, I'll stop
but
you there.
in the end,
Sir, I will
never
stop
told
you
to
there,
get away.
and then we
you
will
didn't.
continue
You stopped
to not
rubbing
look at
circles
that. I'm
on
going
my
to stop
stomach.
you there, please.
Instead, you rubbed
You
back
cut
and
the microphone,
forth,
please.
gently along my
Cut the
waist.
microphone.
Your pinky made its way under the top of my
Stop it,
face.
Anyways, you
Sir,
get
stop
that.
it.
Let me
If
pause
You don't
this.
stop, I'll ask you to leave.
He'll stop
Thank you. Yes, sir, I asked you to stop, and you're going to have to leave if you don't continue with that. Yes, sir. No, sir, I asked you to stop. I asked you to stop. Sir, if you don't, sir, I'm asking you to stop. If you don't do it, we're going to have you removed. Thank you. Please.
Not okay to read
I've
it in a
asked you
room
to
of,
stop. Yes, sir, I've
adults,
asked you to
but
stop.
kids can read it in school.
He could. All he had to do was
Sir,
Yeah.
I'm asking you to
He
stop.
achieved the goal.
Yes.
But he's an activist.
And
So
when I
Yeah.
stop, it's removed. And I've asked you to stop, so they were removed. Okay, sir. Mr. Teskey, would you remove him, please? 3 warnings. 3 warnings. I've asked you, please, to remove. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because you won't stop. You won't stop. I've asked you to stop.
Allow the world to see me removed for reading the pornographic books.
Okay, sir. I just said I've stopped you from reading. It's going to be removed, so I'm going to ask you to go. It's not right that you're not listening. Sir, he needs to be removed.
He had already decided he was getting removed before he got there.
this is his thing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You notice his sweatshirt? God
you
before
very much.
government.
All right, we're going to take, that was the end of citizen input. We're going to take a 10-minute break. We'll be
Too graphic for the board to hear, Well, perfectly okay for middle schoolers. Let's bring in North Carolina pastor and author of Erase, Pastor John Hamachupu. Pastor John, welcome back to the show. I'm blown away. I mean, you know what? I saw that. Then I said, this right there is a perfect metaphor for exactly what's going on in America, where the school board won't listen to what's being read to them because it was too graphic, yet the kids in the school...
Anyways, let me get us back to
us. You guys could take a look at us.
back to this dimension. Yeah. So you get the hint. I mean, there was other stuff that I wouldn't feel comfortable playing around kids, and you might have kids in the room, but you kind of knew what we were talking about. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand any argument for
Keeping something like that in the schools.
Yeah. I don't understand. What do you expect your kid to be able to get when they go to a school library?
And the one argument I'll hear a lot of people say, well, your kid can get on their iPad or their phone and find stuff worse than that. And while that may be true, the parent decided if they were going to give the kid that iPad or phone and
Well, that's the worst
not
excuse,
censor
man.
it.
You know,
It is the worst excuse because
I
the parents don't have control of what their kid reads in their school.
I have a hardest time holding my stomach when somebody says, well, what's it matter? They find worse on the internet or TikTok or something. I'm like, okay, well, that's parenting. That's parenting. That makes you a piece of shit. Like, I'm not saying that my kids won't come across it, but it's not something I'm leaving available. Like, we don't have YouTube. They have YouTube Kids, which is still dangerous. And they still can get on web browsers and stuff like that, but they know better to let us know. I mean, they're still young, but my phone's starting to light up here, so I don't know.
I think Amanda commented again on Instant Messenger.
So what do you think about it, Amanda?
Yeah,
I know you're listening,
I know Amanda's got a couple kids.
Yeah, so I don't understand. I don't know where Amanda might be, but they say this problem with the books is nationwide.
Right.
And that's the only reason why I ever got involved or paid attention. Not that I'm involved, but with our school board is because I seen this video of Jennifer Pippin from Mountain True Liberty reading this stuff on a Facebook Live in her car where kids couldn't hear it, and she warned everybody at home, make sure kids can't hear this, but this is what was in such and such middle school or such and such learning center, and it was just...
And isn't it crazy?
It was appalling, that the stuff is still there over 2 years.
And if you didn't come across that video and seen that, how long would it have been until you even knew about it?
We wouldn't be doing this.
That's the great thing about people talking about it, is because that's how it gets stuff to happen. We got to get more people aware of what's going on.
Right? We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for that. To be honest with you, it was my friend Nate who shared the video of Jennifer Pippin, and that led us to becoming friends. We've already talked about doing something stupid like this, but that led us to become friends with our guys over at TGI Now, and they had already started a podcast. They were about a year ahead of us, but they've got a really good platform. They've got a good platform going too. Check them out, TGI Now. One of the guys was there at the school board meeting, and he was saying that this is horrible, that this many people have, we need this kind of an issue for this many people to come to the school board meeting. It was either racism or graphic content, filth, pornography in the books in middle schools and high schools. I didn't hear anything about it in any elementary schools, but and to find out it didn't have to come that far. They were well within their right. Anybody up the chain of administration to remove those books. That's how I read it. And that's, if you watch any of the clips, I'm pretty sure Jackie Rosario, that's how she read it too, and they read it out. And same with Pasco. Pasco is the one who finally made the motion to vote to just remove all 30 books. So I know this is super local. We have some people who aren't in Indian River County, but I always come, election season, I bitch and moan about voting local. Whether you have kids, school board is important.
But like you said, this thing with the books is affecting a lot more than just us locally.
So school board, city council, county commissioners, I feel like they're way more important than, let's say, House of Representatives, state, or federal, or governor, whatever, because that's where they come from. They don't just start out in politics. Maybe some of them do, but
Most start.
Most of them are starting
local.
out in a power grab position like school board, and they can garner a lot of support from the more ignorant voter base, pushing more social issues and crazy leftist ideas like providing pornography to children. I just think it's horrible. My son is not going to school. He is 5. Sabrina is now 14 and almost done. It's scary. I don't want my kids going to middle school. I'm scared to death. And I hold nothing against anybody who's on school board with not having kids in the school district or in the actual public schools in the district. Because I think the position and the job and the potential is super important to everybody, not just people with kids currently. Vince, you don't have kids, and I know there's a candidate or there's a member that doesn't have a kid in public schools. Well, there's a couple members that don't have kids at all in the district. So I think I don't find any gripe in that. I just want to make sure, and I hope people vote smart when it comes to voting local.
Right. Put people in that.
Won't be the last time we talk about it.
Put people that have your interest, the same interest that you have.
Yeah, because that's, like I said, that's where they start out.
Right. If you put the wrong person in place, you're locally, they can really mess up some stuff for your kids, for your family. It's affects more than you would imagine.
Yeah, it's our future. Our future is looking pretty bleak, especially when you look at that Agenda 2030 type shit in their land grab. I'm not feeling very confident about where we live. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, but I think we can be pretty prone to natural disasters and land grabs around here. We already seen the price and value of land in Florida and insurance rates. Our great governor was supposed to fix the insurance rates. What the hell happened with that?
Yeah, mine went up this year. Probably going to go up again next year.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty bad. I don't pay the insurance bill, but I'm paid towards it, so
I know
it's not cheap.
I know our mortgage payment probably went up $200 a month this year, and that's from the escrow part of it going up.
$200 a month.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
So that was insurance and taxes increase.
But if you think about it, we live on this big sand ridge, and if they can hit Miami or Hawaii with fire lasers and 80-mile-an-hour hurricane winds without the rain, what can they do to us? Hawaii's pretty wet.
Yeah. Well, we've seen movies about how they've been working for years to control storms, to be able to control how a storm forms and where it goes. Who's to say what kind of technology they've got?
Just got to boycott the right. Sean, what if you're rich? What if you're the rich guy? What if one day you strike it rich? I don't think boycotting the rich. I mean, I get what you're saying. There's the people, the really rich, who probably control things that we don't even know. I don't even think we know who to boycott.
Yeah,
I mean, definitely people like Oprah,
George Soros and Bill Gates.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's obvious players, but I think the real controllers we don't even know.
No, we don't. And there's people from
Walmart. No, don't boycott Walmart.
There's a lot of hardworking people that work for that company that
really
would be
good
affected.
People that work there.
But we've got people that are billionaires from other countries over oil fields and all these oil companies that are pulling strings over here in our country.
Well, I get the sentiment. Like big box, like Amazon, Target. We've seen what Best Buy is doing. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all these big companies that they're not even working for the Chinese. They're working for the World Economic Forum, and
I'm all
they're all
for-
going into this new economic system,
Yeah.
and everything they do is going to base on these ESG scores and the DEI scores and stuff like that. That's why
I'm all for
you see foreigners running American companies.
support local businesses and of course support American-made businesses. I'm all for that. That's for sure. But yeah, these ESG scores are definitely affecting these multi-billion-dollar companies like Amazon and stuff that are all working towards ESG score, not necessarily your best interest.
As far as, yeah. So what do you think it's going to be? The big question going around is, are they going to shut down again for COVID? Are we going to see shutdowns again for COVID?
I'm gonna say no because I don't think I can. I don't think I can go through that shit again.
You're wishful thinking?
I'm just gonna say no because I can't imagine going through that shit again right now. If it fucking
right,
happens,
well,
yeah, that's gonna really suck.
Here we go. So the two counties south of us canceled their football game with our city in Vero Beach, the high school football game, due to COVID on the rise nationally. So they're already starting. We heard about it. 2 different schools in Georgia that now implement mask mandates. We heard Joe Biden seeking more
Money for a new
money for a new vaccine that he wants everybody to take, and he's going to make sure everybody takes it. And
not happening.
right, and he wants the funding to enforce it.
Of
So
course,
it's
they're,
pretty
of course they're
scary.
probably just going to put it in the food we eat and not tell us.
Amanda says we'll never know who they are. You're right. Yeah, so it's I don't know if it's going to be COVID. I think COVID is just a side game we're going to see right now. I think I actually heard Tucker made some predictions last week that it's not going to be COVID, and it's like right along the lines of what I was thinking. It's not going to be COVID. It's going to be war. It's going to be more intensified war with Russia, if not all-out war with Russia. It's going to cause a suspension in elections because the election interference by outside agents is going to be the concern. And that's going to be their reasoning for doing it.
Right.
And we're going to see Donald Trump in jail. So I don't know what kind of America looks like after that, what kind of America we live in.
And they're going to try to take Trump off the ballot.
But I believe, and what do you think though happens if they do? If California takes him off the ballot, I don't really think it's that much of a big deal. But if Georgia takes him off the ballot, or there was actually a lawyer here in Florida who petitioned the court to remove him from the ballot, what do you think happens after that? We can bring us back to reality. Fuck COVID.
Could end up with a civil war.
Well, I definitely think so. We talked about that many times. Yeah, they say that they're going to implement COVID in September, and if we don't take the shot, you can't work, and they are going to starve us. Sean, do you live in a red state, blue state, conservatives, or Democrats? And I think you're in Virginia, and I can't remember what Virginia. We got other friends that live in Virginia too, but I think that matters a lot too. Who runs your local municipality?
For sure, where you live is going to be a big. It was the first time. You know, we had shutdowns and stuff in Florida, but it wasn't nearly as bad here as it was in, some of the other states.
Sean says, candy-ass Americans, I know he's meant to say, won't fight. And I believe he's right. I don't know, though. I mean, you lock up, so let's say you take somebody off the ballot, or you lock up somebody that's rendered over 75 million votes in the last election.
What if he
who's
gets
probably going to increase this election?
Right.
I'm not saying he's going to win, but he's going to increase those amount of votes.
What if they give him the death penalty?
They could. And one of the charges they actually could. But let's say
treason
you
is
lock
automatic
him up,
death penalty.
You lock him up, or you take him off the ballots. You're gonna piss off a lot of freaking Americans. Almost 80 million Americans. Maybe a third of them would stand up and fight. Maybe, But if a third or some stand up, it'll increase more.
I gotta be honest.
I think you're right. I think you're looking at civil war. It might not look like it used to.
I gotta be
but
honest
it's going
with
to
you.
be pretty tough.
As much as I don't want to see us go through a civil war, I'd rather see it get fixed without that. There's another part of me that just
How do you fix it?
It needs to happen. It won't get fixed without it, and it may not get fixed with it. But it's the only chance. I think it's the only chance that we can ever. The only way we're ever going to fix the way things are now is to overthrow the current government.
Wow, you're talking total overthrow. You mean just like vote new people in? Or do you mean vote the right guy in that fires everybody?
Yeah, you're fired. Donald Trump goes in there and fires everybody.
Yeah, I don't think a military coup is needed
and
at
we
this
need
point.
we need to start fresh.
But that's what you need, though. There is no resistance without military. And how much military do you think is going to defy an order from a superior?
Right. So
None. They're all bred to obey orders.
So that was one thing we had talked about on one of the other podcasts in the past, was whether or not, if it came down to it, who is it right now that's our over all the military? I can't even think. I don't even know who he is.
Say that once more.
The attorney general that's over all the military and.
Attorney General?
No, I may have the name wrong.
The current guy that.
Yeah, the.
General Milley, he's the joint chief. He's not really over anybody.
Somebody that pretty much gives the orders for the military.
Sure. Oh, the Secretary of Defense. Or
Yes,
like
the
that.
Secretary of
I don't know who
Defense.
he is.
So, I wonder whether or not the Secretary of Defense would side, let's say, if that were to happen and it was the current government versus Trump, would he side with Trump?
Well,
because clearly the Democratic side wants to defund the police, defund the military. Is there the chance that the police and the military say, you know what, why would we support who wants to defund us?
Well, the Secretary of Defense works for the president. They come and go with the president. They don't stay. They don't keep the job. They resign.
So this is somebody that Biden assigned that position.
So it's a Biden person. And there was suspicion that Trump actually set up what they call devolution. And it was where the generals, hand-picked generals, would set up a continuance of governance. So if something happened, like Joe Biden or somebody screwed shit up, there was still something running, and they considered Trump still president, which is bullshit. We know he's not president, or we won't be going through this shit. But that's kind of what they think he set up to make sure it doesn't go south in between then and now. Because they have, a couple months, a month and a half from when they get voted in or out to when they come in or leave, January 6th or something like that. I don't know. January 2nd. Mark Milley. I don't know. Sean says, is he a Democrat? Yes. He's a dumbass. I mean, Democrat. Not to offend anybody at home, but really, they're all dumbasses. But I don't think it's going to be. I think COVID might screw around with some local elections. I think it's going to be a tool. But I think part of the plan, the overall plan, is not going to be COVID this time. And if it is, it's going to be something much more deadly than COVID. That does look pretty good. That egg sandwich. Leo's over here looking for breakfast.
He's looking at food porn.
Yeah, man. I'm a big food eater, man. So if you guys know any good spots here in Indore County, man, hit me up, man.
Yeah,
I'll check them out.
Just about every day while I'm at work, around lunchtime, when he knows I'm hungry, I'll get like 5 posts of different food that looks freaking.
I'll hit him up and be like, hey, man, this looks good.
Look at this.
Yeah,
Sean says you can't spell Democrat without demon. Democrat. You're right. I mean, I won't really see any. I've got some clips of some citizens that were speaking in favor of not removing books.
Right.
And I'll probably share them at some point, maybe in the comment sections of some of these videos. But it was just like one of them ran for school board last, and I didn't share that one yet, and I should. But it's just these people. I don't trust them around my kids. I don't care if they have daughters or not. Obviously, I don't think you're fit to have them.
Well, yeah. Some people
you
that
know
have
what?
kids aren't fit to have kids, and some
You
people
know, I keep saying this.
that don't are.
You know, I'm gonna say this, Mike. Maybe you could do a little short out of this. You know, I keep saying this.
Make it good.
I know.
Get mad.
It's not. It's not about getting mad, man.
No,
it's
I'm
just
kidding.
like, you know, people say out there, you know, that they're the best of the best, man. I always say, if you're gonna do something, make sure you're the best of the best of it. You know, I heard somebody say that to us one day or whatever, and I was like, you know what, you're kind of right. You know, like, if I'm gonna stick with something or do something, I'm gonna make sure I'm the best of whatever I'm doing. You know, so I seen the clip. A guy was saying, you know, that the PTA is not how it used to be. You know, because he's not there anymore. Okay, well, guess what?
I won't share that one.
Hey, don't matter. Share it. It doesn't.
No, I don't. I don't want to give him screen time.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can give me screen time for it. You know, maybe I'll run for it.
You should make a short. You should
You
do
know,
a side
maybe
by
I'll
side.
run for it. Maybe I'll show him what
Well, I don't
a
think
real
he's there.
PTA is
I don't
supposed
think
to
he's
be.
in the PTA anymore. I
Okay,
don't know
but it
what
doesn't matter,
happened.
you know?
If you're listening
No,
and
he's-
you're just lurking in the shadows
I'm
and
just
you
saying,
know
you know,
the
like,
scoop
don't-
here in the county, let me know what happened with that.
Right, you
From
know?
what I heard, yeah, from listening to him talk, I could tell he's not in the PTA anymore.
Yeah,
It sounded, oh, definitely, from what he said.
He's-
I'm not in the loop.
Because he
so I
said
don't
when
know
I
what's
was
going
in
on.
the PTA, I fixed it, and then now everybody, when I was there, is gone, and it's gone to shit again, basically.
Or it's not the same. It's not
not
the
the
PTA
same.
he's used to seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, you
He's
know, maybe
definitely
I'll
full of himself.
run. Maybe I'll do something else with my career or do something else, you know. Maybe I'll put my face out there. I know I'm going to get some people, you know, backstabbing. Oh, Leo did the, hey, whatever, man. I did it. I did do it. You know, it is what it is, man. We all go through that point of life or whatever. But I'm just saying, you know, hey,
You're gonna own up to it.
maybe, yeah, I'll own up to it.
You're not
man.
gonna be like Bill Clinton. Say, I did not inhale.
Ooh.
So I tell you what.
But yeah, man. I mean,
Start-
that might be something for me to do. You know, maybe
Start speaking at the school board meetings.
I know I'm gonna have to start speaking so people see a face. You know.
Do shorts where it's just, you know, your rant, what your opinion is on what's going on. Now, obviously, you gotta pay attention.
Yeah,
We can pay attention, and then you just gotta do, you know, you gotta get out there and speak. I ain't got the balls or nothing to do like that. I don't, you know, want my kids to be able to go to school and be safe, and
I just want to see what the
feel like they
PTA
are.
is all about. Like, what does PTA stand for? What is the
Parent
PTA?
Teacher Association. So each school has a PTA,
Right.
and I guess there's a county one. I don't know how it works, to be honest with you. I didn't know nothing about a county PTA until I heard about this snake. Our friend Eddie at TGI Now has really choice words for this guy. I guess there's a rap sheet, and there's a history between him and going after women and stuff like that. So I think he's a real scumbag. Maybe that's why he's not at the county PTA anymore.
Yeah,
maybe too much of his history's come out. Maybe his grifting
I don't know.
countywide with charities has been exposed. I don't know. If you didn't know anything about the guy I'm referring to, I won't say his name. I don't want anybody to say his name on here either. I mean, drop it to Don. I'm interested to know what the hell happened because I find pleasure in it. I just think he's a scumbag. Ever since I first heard about the guy, I think he's a scumbag. And the more I see from him,
I had seen a
I'm
video.
proven right.
Didn't I tell you I'd seen a video on him somewhere, and I was just like, look at this guy. Like, he's just making a fool of himself. Like, just drop it, dude. Like, him and his shiny ass shoes he wears. Like, bro, just drop it, bro.
Yeah.
don't
So,
know,
anyways, there'll be more. We'll be talking a lot more about local elections, especially local to us. Maybe I'll create them as a separate live, but I think there's a lot to talk about when it comes to local elections. Even if you're in Port St. Lucie County, Brevard County is having the problems right now,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
tenfold to what we're experiencing. From what
So
I understand, the chair of the Brevard County
Right.
couldn't even get through a start of her announcement about schools closing for a thunderstorm
So-
without going through a giggle fit. Like she
Yeah.
ate too many edibles or something.
So let me tell you this. Just a little. I'm gonna poke.
It
this-
was sick.
Yeah, let me just poke. There's just some information, you know,
Drop it.
from the what do they call, like, when you know
Grapevine.
when you know information from, like,
From the grapevine.
from the grapevine, right? So now there's gonna be this paper going out to our parents about our kids wanting to change their names, right?
Oh yeah, that was a phone call the other night. Yeah.
Saying that, if you're...
They can be called whatever they want to be called.
So they're going to send out the form, and you got to put the name that they want to be called, and you got to make sure you sign it now. And now the teachers
If they want to be called something else.
and all the teachers and all the administrators and everybody, they have to make sure that they refer to that student the way that student wants to be referred to.
But the parent
And
has
if
to
not-
sign off on it at
Yes,
least.
Yes. And then there's a big thing, like, it's like, and if you don't call them by that name and you call them by the other name, there's like a whole big, like,
Oh, yeah,
controversy,
yeah.
like lawsuit or
Right.
whatever and stuff like
So
that.
this is why
geez,
we
why?
have Dr.
Why?
Moore.
Why? To me, this is just me. I don't know. To me, it's just the kid is overpowering the parent. That's just how I look. I mean, I
Well-
don't know. I mean, I might be wrong. People teach me or show me or tell me
And if
something,
you're-
educate me. I
If
don't
you're
know.
that serious about it, if the parent's that on board with the kid being called that, I mean, change their name legally.
Okay, but then what if next week that person says I don't want to be called that anymore? I want to be changed again to something else.
Well, I mean, you can't yeah. I mean, it has to be something where, like, it's... The kid was given a name and that everybody calls them something else. Like, I can understand it then a little bit, but not if the kid just on a whim watched a movie and I want to be called Nemo now.
Right.
That's... Obviously,
But
that's
to me, that's
BS.
just more work we're giving to a teacher or a faculty or anything like that. Instead of focusing on the education, let's focus on the education.
Focusing on stupid shit.
Let's focus on the education. We're here to learn about reading, math, science, history, and stuff like that. But no, we're focusing on, ooh, what are we going to be called today? Like, what's up with that, man? Like you're using up my child's time now because now we got to be like, what's your name? Like,
What do you want to be today?
right. I don't know. It's just a little thing that it's just too much. Too much.
I think
much.
we allow.
And yet we don't pay our teachers or
Well-
our staff the money they're supposed to be paid. But yet, now you got to deal with this, and now you got to deal with that. And if you don't do this, you're going to get this. And why? It's just too much. For what?
Not paying them enough to deal with all that BS.
Right. For what? I mean, I don't know.
Sean says, "Let's focus on beating that ass."
I'm
I'm assuming we're talking
Tear
about
it
our
up,
kids. Yeah, like I mean,
I agree. Yeah.
those are the values that we've let go by. Like we let too much be tolerated. A little bit of tolerance is good, right? We keep
Yeah.
saying that, but you keep saying that on top of saying that, and then you got people with horns tattooed on their foreheads, worried about their 15-year-old hearing this stuff at a school board meeting,
Yeah.
but they're not worried about them going to check it out at the library.
Right.
Come on. Did you see that video?
Yeah.
Did you see that video?
Yeah.
I don't know where it was. I lost. I was trying to do it. I wasn't going to share that person's video either, but it was pretty sick.
Yeah.
And it was somebody who confronted that black pastor. But
God forbid the kid listens to this
but a little
6-hour
bit
meeting.
of tolerance,
Right.
Right.
The kid's gonna listen to this 6-hour meeting. Let's worry about that, not the fact that this kid's
that how
gonna
long
check
this
this
meeting
book out
was?
in school.
It was almost 6 hours
How long
from very start to finish. It wasn't like they have a presentation section, then they'd go to citizen input, then they go to business.
So they were there from like what time?
I don't know. I think I talked to John from TGI Now, and he left after 9:30, but it was there at like 5.
I guarantee you, any kids start listening to that in the first 5 minutes, they're done.
What do you mean?
Like, started listening to that meeting from the beginning.
There
Like,
was
no
kids
kid-
there.
Well, I'm
and
not saying not the kids there. I'm talking about like if they were to listen to it later, like it's not gonna grab their attention.
Well, there should be repercussions, and that was part of what I think the school board member who tends to be conservative read out loud, that pretty much allowing these books to be available is child abuse.
Right.
It's already child abuse just because they're available. It doesn't matter that they have to ask for them, but they're available right then, and it's child abuse. The school has no purpose in offering the books, but as far as the other guy we talked about, who's the newest member of the NAACP, who was he was the president of the PTA, and from what I understand, was elected the president of the countywide PTA under shady terms with nobody getting any kind of notification of a vote going on, But I'd like to
I
hear what he
remember
said,
that.
yeah. That's the guy that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, no repercussions for him either.
So yeah. All right then,
Anyways, we need to get out of here. Don't forget to
Yeah.
like and follow us on YouTube,
guys. Yeah, definitely.
Facebook,
Thank you for giving us a
Rumble,
like, a follow.
Spotify.
Definitely a share, even a like, man. It don't cost anything.
Man,
We don't
help
charge
us
you guys
out
out there.
and
Help us
follow
out for
us
a
on
little bit.
all the platforms.
Put us out there, man. We put you guys out there. Whatever you guys want, man. We take care of each other, man. That's what we're here for. We are Americans, man. We gotta take care of each other because who else is gonna take care of us? China ain't.
Not the Russians.
Not Biden ain't. Nobody's gonna take care of us. They don't even try to take care of Trump. They're trying to put that man in jail. But anyways, y'all have a good night. See you guys next week at the same time. So we're out, man.
All right, y'all.
Vince, see you next
Later.
week, man.
Yeah.
You have a nice vacation.
Yeah.